Welcome to Fake Love and Flying Monkeys, the podcast where fake love is exposed. I'm Nova Gibson and I am your host. I'm the principal counsellor at Brighter Outlook Narcissistic Abuse Counselling.com.au. This space is dedicated to helping you reclaim your worth and understand the impact of toxic relationships with suspected narcissists. You deserve clarity, healing, and freedom from the pain of fake love and flying monkeys. So please leave a review and grab a copy of my book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. Let's uncover the truth and take back your power. Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Fake Love and Flying Monkeys. Once again, we are going to be taking a look at the narcissist manipulative tactics they use to abuse you. Only these tactics are a little more specific that you may not even realize constitutes abuse. They're not just the obvious run-of-the-mill, if you could call it that, manipulations like gaslighting or love bombing, which get plenty of attention in general already. These are more lesser known. Creep up on you, wait a minute, that was abuse? Those kinds of tactics. And many of these fly under the radar because they can be passed off as normal relationship dynamics until you step back and see the pattern. So the first manipulative narcissistic abuse strategy or tactic that I'm going to be taking a look at is forgetfulness, where the forgetfulness is really used as a form of control. So they will conveniently forget the things that matter to you. Oh, they missed your birthday. I am so sorry, even though you've been planting little reminders everywhere because you've been so used to them either ruining your birthday or forgetting it in previous years. But yes, they forgot it again. Anniversaries, promises, they know how important these days are to you, and the forgetfulness, I just have a bad memory attitude, is intentional. It's meant to elicit a response from you. It's meant to hurt you, and it's lose-lose for you as the victim, because if you say anything about the obvious pattern of behavior, they'll tell you that you're just overreacting and you're just not being sensitive to the fact that they have a bad memory. They'll flip it onto you as being the one who is being oversensitive, you're overreacting, and totally minimize their own actions. The second narcissistic manipulative tactic I'm going to take a look at is the fact that they interrupt your alone time or your hobbies. Any time that you're devoting a few minutes to something that you enjoy, they will just coincidentally have some request from you, or they'll make you feel bad because you're not giving your attention to them. So whenever you try to carve out some of that independence, maybe it's even just going for a walk, or maybe you're journaling, or maybe you love painting, or just trying to squeeze in the odd gym class, suddenly they need your attention. They will create drama or act needy at the exact moment that you're doing something for yourself. And why do they do this? Because your autonomy is an absolute threat to their control. And then there's the old empathizing with your enemies. So maybe you open up to them about someone who's hurt you, maybe at work, or maybe it's one of your friends or your family, and instead of supporting you, they jump to the other person's defense, saying something like, well, maybe they didn't mean it that way. And you're like, wait, what? Why are you sticking up for them? Why aren't you standing up for me? They make you think that maybe you overreacted in this situation. Maybe you even owe them an apology. They twist your reality by providing their empathy to the person that you have told them has hurt you. And this feels like betrayal, guys, because it is. Narcissists love to align with people who make you feel weak because it gives them power. Another tactic, sudden coldness for no reason. You can't work out why they've gone all quiet. We're not talking about the long bouts of ghosting, stonewalling, the silent treatment. We're talking about just changes in mood, acting dismissively towards you, just going cold, like anything you say or do just irritates them and you can't pinpoint a reason. Everything seems to be fine. And then suddenly they go quiet. You can feel the tension in the air, but you don't know why. So you ask them and they say, oh, I'm just tired. But they're short with you. They're distant, punishing. This tactic of just suddenly appearing down in the dumps with no apparent reason is designed to destabilize you guys and make you hypervigilant. You'll end up analyzing everything you do and begging for their warmth again. And then there's the weaponizing of your weaknesses, all of your vulnerabilities. Any type of trauma or fear you told them about at some time, especially in the beginning during the love bombing stage, anything you shared with them in confidence, they'll use it later in an argument or just to mock you in front of others, but using the dog whistling strategy where they make you feel exactly the way they want you to feel, which is hurt, frustrated, angry, but they do it in a way with their words, their actions that no one else around you gets what they're trying to do. So when you glare at them, they can't understand why, and you become the crazy person. But they love talking about these things, and it is so hurtful because you remember telling them how important these things and these times, these traumas were in terms of the impact they had on your life. And here they are just talking to Joe Blow next door like it's just giving them a recipe for grandma's favorite cookies. Yes, the narcissist will store those vulnerabilities of yours away like ammo. They will use them like ammunition to maim you with at a later time. And guys, that's not love. That's warfare. Now, another strategy that is very hard to pick straight away is the boundary testing through small requests. They start with little tiny oversteps of what you've managed to resurrect of your boundaries or keep of your boundaries. And they will do this using your things without asking. Maybe they'll just push past your no on some minor issue. When you don't push back too hard, then the violations of your boundaries get bigger. It's not about the sock drawer and the leftover pizza. It's about seeing what you will tolerate, so they just poke a little bit harder each time they're testing your boundaries. And what happens is your boundaries lower without you even knowing it, because of the insidious way they increase slowly over time the depth of their boundary tests. Now, here's one you may not recognize, which is the micromanaging of you disguised as care. In other words, guys, this is coercive control. They'll comment on your clothes, how you talk, how you eat, even how you laugh. It will irritate them. At first, it seems like they're just trying to help you be your best self. It's because they care about you. But the constant pattern of nitpicking chips away at your confidence. And that is the goal. Eventually, you stop trusting your judgment. You start trying to please them instead of just being yourself. And the last narcissistic manipulative tactic that you may not recognize as abuse, that I'm going to be talking about in this episode, is when they disguise ultimatums. They might say something like, "Oh my goodness, I just can't be with someone who talks to their ex," when you've done absolutely nothing shady at all. You've just had a perfectly appropriate conversation with them around childcare arrangements, perhaps. They won't directly tell you what to do, but they'll imply the relationship between you and them, the narcissist, depends on your compliance. In other words, do not talk to your ex. This is control dressed up as a standard of theirs. Now, another one of those disguised ultimatums is when they imply abandonment if you do something that is not pleasing them. So if you, for instance, tell them you're going out and they pull the old, "Oh, I wish you would stay home with me," or the sulking routine, and you say to them, "Well, look, I really want to go out. I've had these plans for a long time," and they come out with the old, "Oh, I just don't think this relationship is working. Maybe we need to separate. Maybe I'm just not what you want." So what happens? You fear that just for the fact that you're going out and trying to have a good time, you might lose this relationship. It just doesn't seem worth it to you. So you change your plans, and that's exactly what they wanted. They love to do this if you go away on a holiday by yourself. Maybe it's with your family, with some friends. It doesn't matter that they do it all the time, but they love to do it when you're away. If you're looking like you're having an amazing time, sending them snaps back of just relaxing on the beach, they'll tell you from back home that they're thinking of maybe moving out for a little while, and it's not your fault. They still want you to enjoy your holiday, but they're just starting to really question whether this is the relationship that is right for them. The goal, so that you have a miserable time on your holiday and the focus comes back on to them. Now, I know so many of you listening to this episode will be nodding along. Yes, that happened to me. This is just textbook. Well, your journey to reclaiming your life starts with recognizing these behaviors. These behaviors are abusive, and your journey to healing starts with taking steps to protect your mental and emotional health. You deserve relationships built on respect, trust, and genuine care, and not on trying to work out what is going on in the mind of someone who is making you feel so bad about yourself, and where their words never match up with their actions. And that brings us to the end of another Fake Love and Flying Monkeys episode. I hope you found that insightful, guys. Just a few variations that are a little bit more specific relating to the general textbook manipulative behaviours that we hear about all the time. Now, if you would like support, one-on-one individual support in your healing journey, please see my website link in the description for an online Zoom counseling session, no matter where you are in the world. And you'll also find a link there for you to get your very own copy of my best-selling book, Fake Love. On that note, guys, it's bye from me for now. Until tomorrow's episode, remember, you are worthy of love, and you are worthy of so much more than a lifetime of fake love and flying monkeys.